How do you deal with your insecurities? Though the word insecurity sounds negative, but I'm sure it has a lot of scope hidden within. Do you feel insecure? Do you get nervous when someone even mentions the word insecure? If this describes you, you are not alone, and you are about to learn how you can take your insecurities and use basic psychology to make them work for you rather than against you. Most people associate the word insecure with negative emotions, and the main reason why people do this is because deep down we're all a little bit insecure. In fact, there is not a single person on the planet that is perfectly secure. Most people think that insecurities hold no value, when ironically they hold more value than you can even imagine. If we take a moment to look at the psychology behind our insecurities, we will see that they are really just messages broadcasted from our brain. So, if they're messages, what is our brain trying to tell us? As it turns out, there are three potential meanings for these messages. When our brain starts sending the signals, it is trying to say that it is not sure its ability to complete a task. It thinks it's moving in the wrong direction. Third, afraid it might lose what it already has. The cool thing about it is that it's one of the most powerful sources of motivation that you have at your disposal. As humans, our basic psychology causes us to move towards a reward or away from pain. If you were to take a second to stop and think about why you're doing something, it's either because you're moving towards reward or trying to avoid pain. Once you understand that every feeling of insecurity that you experience is nothing but a message from your brain, you can override inner security by giving your mind reassurance. For example, if I feel insecure about being able to defend myself, I can start lifting weights, get strong, and maybe learn jujitsu. By doing these activities, I am reassuring my mind that I can handle myself in a fight. And even simpler example to grasp this whole concept and the value of brain is driving. When we first start driving a car, we experience a strong feeling of insecurity because our brain is telling us that it doesn't feel comfortable driving. To reassure our mind, we can take driving lessons and sometimes spend practicing. Now, the remarkable benefit of being insecure about certain thing is that it gives us something to strive for achieving it. I have had people tell me that I am insecure because I'm lifting weights to build muscle and get stronger. My response to them was, no, I used to be insecure, but now I'm just confident. For some people who lift weights, their insecurity is not being good enough at football. For others like me, it was a case of weak by my whole life and wanting to move away from that pain. It was my brain saying, well, I'm not sure if I can do this task. And the task was many different things, like being able to protect my girlfriend from the crazy guys and being able to look in the mirror and feel confident about my appearance. If we wanted to break it down even further, we can say that feelings of insecurity are nothing more than messages from my brain letting us know that we need to improve something. Many of the world's most successful people wouldn't be where they are without the insecurity that drove them forward. Unfortunately, if you don't understand what insecurity really are, you will end up living with them for far too long, because you would recognize that your brain is telling you that something needs to be changed or improved. Instead of immediately taking action to overcome the insecurity, a lot of people look for quick fixes, which can lead to down deep rabbit hole that you don't want to get into. Another example of how people have used the incredible power of insecurity in amazing ways relates to people who grow up poor. Some of the world's most well-known billionaires started from nothing and grew their empire to unimaginable heights. In fact, rapper Jay-Z is a perfect example. He grew up extremely poor in a housing project in Brooklyn, New York. Jay-Z, whose real estate name is Sean Carter, had two options to survive. He could either work at McDonald's or he could sell drugs. And he ended up choosing to sell drugs. Now, while selling drugs, he was shot at 3 times, and it could have been killed on any given day. Take a second. Imagine what life would have been like if you were living this kind of a lifetime. Imagine all of the problems that stem from not having any money, and then think about all of the stress caused by selling drugs. It should be easy to see how Jay-Z could develop his insecurities from being poor. Anything about this guy who is a billionaire, last time I checked, is that instead of doing nothing about it or ignoring it altogether, he chose to use it as a power, to use it as a fuel for his music career, which slowly blossomed into best-selling artist of all time. $1 million. You can do the same. And he captured that image of the Hall of Fame as one of the best-selling musicians of all the time. How to take away? That is very important. How do you stop feeling insecure in your life? Very significant. You might understand that you can earn $1 million. You might not become one of the best rappers in the world, but there is no limit to what you can accomplish. The first step is recognizes that when you feel insecure about something, your brain is actually telling you that you need to change something. Feeling of insecurity could also come from not wanting to lose what you already have. Now, the cool thing is about insecurity is that they are easy to figure out, and with a little bit of self-reflection, you can quickly determine the root cause. Maybe feel extremely insecure in social settings because you spend way too much time in playing the World of Warcraft. In this example, you need to reassure your mind that you can handle such situation in the best way to reassure your mind and eliminate insecurities is to practice spending time in social situations. Writing things down is a very important, and to eliminate the insecurity you need to write down the root cause. Next, come up with a detailed plan that will help you change whatever it is about yourself that will eliminate the insecurity. And as long as your subconscious mind is actually believes the plan will work, you will get some instant relief from the insecurity. And even better than that will be have a concrete plan that you can use to immediately tackle the issues at the end of the day. Positive thinking, in short, cuts down the work you will need to determine the root causes of insecurity and take the actions needed to eliminate it, which might be as simple as building the muscle for losing the way back. When I was skinny kid, I was never picked first for sports, and when I went to hang out with my friends, I could never understand why I couldn't throw the damn football as far as them. In my eyes, I thought I was just as strong. And the funny thing is that I knew nothing about the muscle, how it affects things, and that when older guys would tell me I need to eat a cheeseburger or put some meat on my bones, I got really angry, and it reinforced my insecurity of being skinny and weak. At that time, just hearing the word skinny would piss me off. Today, after several years of lifting weight, I can confidently say that I am not skinny enough, definitely not weak. In fact, today, if someone tried to tell me I'm skinny, my subconscious mind would just laugh at it and brush it off as a joke, because deep down that gets security of being weak and inferior is truly gone. And cool thing about it is getting rid of this insecurity. Let's understand this concept with the concept of energy. Energy is never lost, it's only transferred. So once insecurity is gone, the negative energy goes away and comes back as a pure confidence. Now, I still have insecurities like everyone else because nobody is perfect. But after I crossed the threshold, my subconscious mind was finally convinced that I was no longer skinny or weak. At that exact moment, the insecurity disappeared and was replaced with a confidence. Imagine what your life could be like if you pick up your biggest insecurity, identified the root cause, and immediately started to take an action to eliminate. Imagine what you will be able to do with the new self-confidence after the biggest insecurity is erased. So come on, leaders are not born but made. Get out of your biggest insecurity and bring out that leader in you who is a born leader. Act before it is too late. Thank you.